And with that, let's indeed play ball. You are watching the Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics stream here on YouTube. Thank you so much for being with us here on this Saturday morning and afternoon for this Coaches versus Cancer Classic. Going to be a doubleheader today for the Fort Lee Bridgman. The boys team will take on Nutley later today. But first, we're going to start with a battle between the Fort Lee Bridgman girls team and the Hawthorne Bears, and we're going to start things off with a missed shot right away. Janelle Lewis trying to get things started, so we are indeed underway. Some basic passing around for Hawthorne here to start things off. Fort Lee Bridgman versus the Hawthorne Bears here in the first of two here in the East Gymnasium in Fort Lee at Fort Lee High School. About 45 seconds gone by here in the first quarter. Fort Lee 0 of 1 from the field. Hawthorne yet to take a shot, firing and connecting on a three-pointer is number 21, Kate Nadirashvili. So she gives Hawthorne the early 3-0 lead. Janelle Lewis will try to answer, and she does. It's a three. Janelle Lewis leads Fort Lee 26.1 points per game, and she picks up a steal. She also leads the team in steals per game and games played. She's played in all 12. This is Fort Lee's 13th game of the year, and now Janelle Lewis is going to pick up the assist on a Catalina Gill three. Catalina Gill and Janelle Lewis, two of the leading scorers for this Fort Lee Bridgman team. Hawthorne does get the ball over half court. And now this is number 2, Sabrina DiFilippo, passing it to number 1, Bella Porporino. Back to DiFilippo. Her pass goes out of bounds, but it was off of a member of Fort Lee. About 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. It's a 6-3 lead for Fort Lee. Sabrina DiFilippo being guarded right now by Catalina Gill. Now Gill defending Nadirashvili, who gives it to Porporino. Almost a steal by Gill. Hawthorne trying to get into an offensive set. It's going to be Nadirashvili taking the shot and missing. Offensive rebound, no. Emily Backer went for it, did not get it. About 2.5 gone by in the first quarter. 6-3 lead for Fort Lee, no fouls currently. Janelle Lewis does not step into a three. Taking the three and making it is Layla Jones. It's a 9-3 lead for Fort Lee as Gill, Jones, and Lewis have all hit three-pointers. 2 assists for Janelle Lewis. And Hawthorne having a difficult time getting the ball into the half court. This Hawthorne team is not built on their offense. They only average 22 points per game, and they are looking for their first win of the season. They're 0-11. Fort Lee, meanwhile, is 10-2. Almost a steal for Lewis. The heave is missed, and Layla Jones comes away with the rebound. Layla Jones to Lewis, who is fouled by Nadirashvili. So Janelle Lewis will go to the line with 4:44 to go here in the first quarter. Lewis leads the team in free throw attempts. She is a 62% free throw shooter. And the first one is all nylon. Lewis averaging 26.1 points, 4.8 steals, and 4.4 rebounds per game. She makes a pair, 5 quick points for Janelle Lewis, and it is an 11-3 lead for Fort Lee. And an 11-0 run. Mentioned Fort Lee 10-2, looking at the Big North American division. They're 3-0 in first place, ahead of Ridgefield Park, who is 3-1. Hawthorne, meanwhile, is in last place in the NJIC Colonial Division. 0-4, 4 games behind first place Glenrock at 4-0. Missed shot right there by DiFilippo. Rebound for Roxanne Perez. Layla Jones going to take another 3 and miss it. Saves it from going out of bounds. It is rebounded by Lewis. Now Lewis going to take a 3 in and out. And the rebound to Porporino. Pass too high for Nadirashvili. Porporino going to get charged with the turnover. 3:41 to go here in the first quarter. Catalina Gill going to take the 2-pointer. It is short. Rebound Barbeyer. And it's almost turned over by Hawthorne, but they maintain possession here. Another missed shot, and Gill with the rebound. She gets it ahead to Layla Jones. Lewis the 3. That's off, and Gill gets the offensive rebound. Layla Jones going to fire from 3 and miss. Long rebound out to Porporino. Hawthorne trying to get going. Again, an 11-0 run for Fort Lee. Missed shot by Barbeyer, and it goes out of bounds. Ball back to Fort Lee, wearing their white uniforms with white numbering. Hawthorne blue road uniforms with white numbering. Roxanne Perez to Layla Jones, back to Perez. She misses the layup. Rebound to Emily Backer, who gets it ahead. This is DiFilippo with it, covered by Lewis. And it's another turnover for Hawthorne. Layla Jones running ahead, and she misses. Porporino with the board. 6 minutes gone by, 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Porporino to Barbeyer. Getting double covered, that's Backer actually, and we're gonna have a jump ball, but since they don't do that in high school or college, it's going to be based on the possession arrow. So Hawthorne will retain possession. Firing on a 3 and missing is Backer. Roxanne Perez with the rebound. I believe that's her first of the day. Janelle Lewis loses it out of bounds, but they're going to say it's a foul. Second team foul on Hawthorne. That's number 33, Emily Barbeyer, getting charged with it. Janelle Lewis, 1 out of 2 at the line. She is now 3 of 4 on the day, and she has 6 points. It's a 12-3 lead for Fort Lee. Pass was almost too hot to handle. And Hawthorne is able to break a long scoreless drought. That's Barbeyer hitting the 2-pointer. Layla Jones going to miss. Perez tried to save it, but she saves it for Hawthorne. She gets back on defense. They're playing 5-on-5 again, under a minute to go, and Hawthorne loses it out of bounds. Jones into Perez, passes out of it. And here's Janelle Lewis. Gill, all nylon on that three-point attempt. It's a 10-point first quarter lead for Fort Lee. Layla Jones with the steal, and Layla Jones going to lay it in. It's 17-5 Fort Lee. And Layla Jones with another steal and layup. It's 19-5 Fort Lee. Can she get another one? No, and it looks like that is going to be how the first quarter ends. Layla Jones ends the first quarter with back-to-back steals and layups. She has 7 points and 2 rebounds. Catalina Gill and Janelle Lewis have 6 points each, and it is a 14-point lead for Fort Lee after one quarter. And to be honest, that's probably a pretty good representation of how the season has gone for each of these two teams. I mentioned Hawthorne's struggles. They are 0-11, so all of their splits are bad. 0-4 in division, 0-4 on the road, and this is a team that went 13-11 last year under Tom Cannon. The head coach is actually not here today. 2 of his assistant coaches are here in his stead. Hawthorne played yesterday. They lost to Weehawken at home 29-15. So they are on pace for 20 points today, but that would still probably not get it done, seeing as Fort Lee already has 19 points. The Bridgemen average a 60-39 win. They're 5-2 at home, and since losing their first 2 games of the year at home to Tenafly and Westwood, they've won 10 in a row, and they're in first place in the Big North American Division. That's another three-pointer for Janelle Lewis. The assist to Layla Jones. 9 points for Lewis. It's a 22-5 lead for Fort Lee, and they're on a 22-2 run. All the starters still in for Hawthorne. Barbeyer misses the jumper. Catalina Gill gonna fire a 3. She misses. Olivia Hausman with the offensive rebound. She keeps it in bounds, gets it to Lewis, who is on fire. It's another 3 for Janelle Lewis. She has 12 of Fort Lee's 25. She almost picks up a steal right there. Or no, actually, Hausman almost picked up a steal. She got the offensive board and the assist on Lewis's latest 3. Janelle Lewis has 12 points and 3 assists herself. DiFilippo makes the jumper off the backboard. Lewis to Jones, and Jones loses it off the legs of Backer, who's going to come away with a steal. So it's 25-7 in favor of Fort Lee. And now Hausman is going to come up with a steal. She passes ahead to Lewis. Nice transition offense for Fort Lee right there. DiFilippo misses. Or actually, that was Porporino. And this is Catalina Gill getting fouled and missing the layup. So she will shoot 2. That was number 30, Ileana James, whose name we have not yet called today, getting the rebound. It's James, Hausman, Lewis, Jones, and Catalina Gill, who misses her first free throw attempt. Gill, a 60% free throw shooter on the year entering this game. And she goes 1 out of 2. 7 points for Catalina Gill. It's a 21-point lead for Fort Lee. Porporino almost loses it. Now she does out of bounds. Will Hawthorne maintain possession? Looks like they will. Nadirashvili misses the jumper. Porporino with the offensive board, but she loses it. It pops up in the air, and Janelle Lewis comes away with it. She can't get it to Jones, so she's going to take the three herself and miss it. Rebound to Barbeyer. Porporino makes that jumper, and she is now on the board. It's 28-9. 4 different players for Hawthorne have 1 bucket apiece. Olivia Hausman going to fire from 3 and miss. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. It's a 28-9 advantage for Fort Lee. Nadirashvili, the long pass, which cannot be handled by Backer. Another turnover for Hawthorne. And we're going to have our first substitution of the day for the Hawthorne Bears. Porporino will sub out for number 12, Avery Cartagena. Jones fakes the 3, gets it to Gill. Now she's going to take the 3. Layla Jones misses, and Cartagena comes away with the rebound. Nadirashvili fires from 3, misses. Cartagena with the offensive board, being hounded, and now Ileana James takes it from her. Janelle Lewis, the step back 3, off. And Cartagena fouls Ileana James. Are we going to get a sub here? Yes, we are. Porporino is back in, and Emily Barbeyer will sit. Hausman to trigger in for Fort Lee. She gets it into James, who scores. Ileana James with 2 points now, and it's a 30-9 advantage for Fort Lee. I believe that's Hausman's 3rd assist of the day. Could be a day where a lot of Fort Lee members pad the stat sheet. Missed shot there. Ileana James with the rebound. Layla Jones fires from 3, and that is short. Porporino with the board. This is DiFilippo bringing it up for Hawthorne. Now Cartagena with it. Back to DiFilippo. Nadirashvili going to fire from 3 and miss. James with the board. She gets it ahead to Lewis. Lewis misses, but James is there to clean it up. Ileana James making things happen. Not a great pass there from Nadirashvili, but DiFilippo handles and gets it to Cartagena. And another turnover for Hawthorne. Jones gets it ahead to Lewis, who will easily lay it in, and we have a timeout. It's a full timeout for the Hawthorne Bears. They trail this one 34-9. They led 3-0. So if Fort Lee does hold on, this will not be a coast-to-coast win, but they are on a 34-6 run. Janelle Lewis has 16 points, and I believe 3 assists as well. And Layla Jones has also filled up the stat sheet. She has 7, as well as 2 assists and 2 boards. Fort Lee is looking for their 11th consecutive win. They would improve to 11-2 on the year under first-year head coach Kelly Lane. Hawthorne, meanwhile, trying to avoid a 12th consecutive loss to open the season. This is not a divisional game, but looking at the divisional standings for Fort Lee, they're 3-0. Ridgefield Park is 3-1. And then Dumont and Cliffside Park are both 1-2. And Dwight Morrow is 0-3. .240 to go here in the first half. Cartagena fires up a shot, and she hits nothing. Janelle Lewis handles the long outlet pass and scores. .18 points for Janelle Lewis. And I believe that was number 31, Jackie Martinez, who picked up the assist. Cartagena fires again and misses, and once again, Martinez gets it ahead, this time to Jones, who dumps it off to James, who scores. 6 points for Ileana James. Cartagena gonna fire again? No, not yet at least. Knocked out of bounds as Lewis was going for a steal. Barbeyer replaces Backer for Hawthorne. Perez replaces Houseman for Fort Lee. Minute and a half to go in the first half. Cartagena gonna fire. That's a 3. It's a miss, and it goes over the backboard. So Lewis will get it into Jones. Lewis, Jones, Martinez, James, and Perez for Fort Lee. Layla Jones cans the three-pointer, assisted by Jacqueline Martinez. Nadirashvili gonna fire from 3 and make it, assisted by DiFilippo. Nice crisp passing by Fort Lee. Janelle Lewis does miss the 3, but Layla Jones gets the offensive board. She steps back and hits a 3. This has been a very impressive first half for the Fort Lee Bridgman girls varsity basketball team. Hawthorne should hold for the last shot of the half here. Maybe not. Nadirashvili fires from 3. She misses. James with the board. She gets it ahead to Jones. Jones has plenty of time, but it's stolen away by Cartagena. And so at the half, it will be 44-12 in favor of Fort Lee. Gonna have a 10-minute halftime, but then make sure you get back here for the second half and, of course, the matchup between the Fort Lee Bridgman boys varsity basketball team. They'll be taking on Nutley. I'm gonna step aside. Tommy Aquilina back here with you in the East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee High School in Fort Lee. This is the Coaches versus Cancer Classic that you are watching. Hope that you're back or didn't go anywhere. Halftime just about to end. It is the Fort Lee girls varsity basketball team 44 and the Hawthorne girls varsity basketball team 12. Kelly Lane's squad looking for their 11th win in a row. They entered this day 10-2, and they have a 32-point halftime lead, led by Janelle Lewis and her 18 points. Fort Lee averaging 60 points per game. They're on pace for 88. Hawthorne averaging 22 points per game. They are on pace for 24, so that's pretty much how that first half went. Emily Backer saves it from going out of bounds. Here is Kate Nadirishvili. Her three gave Hawthorne a 3-0 lead. Since then, Fort Lee's gone on a 44-9 run. A turnover. Layla Jones picks up the steal. She gets it ahead to Catalina Gill, who dumps off to Olivia Hausman, who scores. Olivia Hausman with her first points of the day. And Catalina Gill picks up the assist. Gill had 7 points in that first half. Hausman had 3 assists and a rebound. Now she has 2 points. Olivia Hausman averaging 5 points per game this season. This is Sabrina DiFilippo with it. She gives it to Nadirishvili. A senior-heavy starting lineup for Hawthorne. This is one of the seniors, Bella Porporino, and it's another turnover for Hawthorne. Janelle Lewis fires from 3, and she misses. A rare miss today for Janelle Lewis. Lewis came into this one averaging 26.1 points per game, and she had 18 in the first half. Right now, Lewis covering DiFilippo. And it's Nadirishvili with it. She gives it to Backer. Eventually taking the jumper and missing is Backer. Jones with the rebound and the assist on the Janelle Lewis. 2-pointer, I should say. It has been a very good day so far for both Layla Jones and Janelle Lewis. Fort Lee has 4 times as many points as Hawthorne. Nadirishvili. Almost stolen away by Lewis. It's out of bounds, and it looks like they're going to say it was off of Lewis. Three minutes gone by here in the second half. Hawthorne has yet to score. DiFilippo. Dumps it off to Porporino. And now Nadirishvili with it again. Not much fluidity in this offensive possession by Hawthorne. It's going to be DiFilippo firing on a three, and she's going to make it. Why not, right? And Sabrina DiFilippo has 5 points. It's 48-15. We're halfway through the third quarter. Olivia Hausman going to take a jumper and make it. So Hausman now has 4, all in the second half. And it's 50-15 Fort Lee. Stolen away. No, not stolen away by Gill. Barbeyer, the jumper, off. Rebound to Lewis after Porporino couldn't handle it. Janelle Lewis going to take it coast to coast. Catalina Gill goes for the steal, doesn't get it. Nadira Zvili dumps off to Barbeyer behind the three-point line, and she gets it back. Now DiFilippo, number 2, guarded by number 2 for Fort Lee, Lewis. Cartagena waiting to check in for Hawthorne. Only 6 players have played today for the Bears. DiFilippo to Porporino, who's blocked by Layla Jones. Janelle Lewis gets around Backer, misses, gets her own miss, and puts it back. Five points for Janelle Lewis just in this third quarter. DiFilippo gonna fire from 3, and she misses. Janelle Lewis again. And now we're gonna have some substitutions. Ileana James and Jacqueline Martinez are back in the game, along with Jones, Lewis, and Hausman. For Hawthorne, it's Porporino, Backer, Barbeyer, Cartagena, and DiFilippo, who dumps off to Porporino. Now it's Backer with it. Cartagena behind the three-point line, guarded by Hausman. Minute to go here in the third quarter. DiFilippo fires from 3. She misses. Long rebound, cannot be handled by Cartagena. Out of bounds, off the Bears. It is a 41-point advantage for Fort Lee. Layla Jones is going to fire from deep, and she's going to miss. DiFilippo. Guarded by Lewis. She gets it to Barbeyer down low, who misses. Jackie Martinez is going to fire from deep and miss. Jones tried to save it, and she cannot. Time for one more quick possession for Hawthorne. Maybe. And maybe not. Hawthorne will not take a shot at the end of the third quarter. They scored 3 points in that quarter, and it's a 56-15 advantage for Fort Lee. So one more quarter to go in the first game. And then we will have the Fort Lee boys Bridgman team hosting Nutley. Layla Jones doing push-ups on the sideline. She has had sideline. This isn't football. What am I talking about? But in between quarters doing push-ups, and it has been a worker's performance for Layla Jones today. She has 13 points, and I believe she also has 4 rebounds and 4 assists. And Janelle Lewis has 26 points after coming into the day averaging 26.1 per game. It's been a great effort for Fort Lee. They're well on their way to an 11th consecutive win. And then after an off day tomorrow, they will host Memorial on Monday and then Dwight Morrow on Tuesday. Dwight Morrow, the last place team in the Big North American Division. Fort Lee, the first place team. So starting the fourth quarter, it will be Gill, James, Martinez, number 11, Jamie West, who just gave it to Gill, and the girl who fires right now and misses, that's number 25, Paula Pestic. So it looks like the days are probably over for Lewis and Jones. DiFilippo for Hawthorne. Is she going to take a 3? She is. She misses. Catalina Gill passes up on the 3. Taking it and making it is Jamie West. We have a foul called as DiFilippo was making her way towards the basket. Not a shooting foul. That is the first team foul for either squad here in the second half. Nadirashvili, that two-pointer was halfway down. Rebound to Gill. Ileana James off the backboard, assisted by Jackie Martinez. So 3 freshmen in the game right now for Fort Lee. James, Martinez, and West. James cannot get that rebound. It's an offensive board for Cartagena, who fires from 3 and misses, and it's going to be Martinez coming away with the board. Jackie Martinez scores. Nice two-person action between James and Jackie Martinez. And Martinez is on the board. It's 63-15, and Martinez has 2. Pestic trying to take it away from Alexis Palmer. They get tied up, and the possession arrow is going to favor Hawthorne. I know it's a lot of the bench players of a last-place team, but the freshmen have looked really good here in this early fourth quarter for Fort Lee. Catalina Gill working with some of the younger members of the team. Ileana James going to fire from deep. She does miss, and the rebound is taken away by Kay Hamilton of the Bears. The three-pointer is made by Emily Backer. Her first points of the day. Ileana James and Jackie Martinez ran that same play a few possessions ago, and they get the same result this time. Some fancy dribbling by Nadirashvili, who cans the jumper. 8 points for her, and we have a 30-second timeout taken. It's 65-19 in favor of Fort Lee. The most points Fort Lee has scored in a game this season is 73, and that came in their last game. They beat North Bergen 73-48 on Thursday. Before that, they beat Cliffside Park 68-34. And this is shaping up to be a 4th consecutive win by 20-plus points. So the Fort Lee Bridgemen are wagging right now. They are set to improve to 6-2 at home and 11-2 on the season. Meanwhile, the Hawthorne Bears will fall to 0-12 and 0-5 on the road. Ileana James misses that jumper. That shot might have been partially blocked. Cartagena saves a pass from going out of bounds, gives it back to Nadirashvili, who loses it. Halfway through this 4th quarter. Ileana James throws up a wild shot and misses, and now Kay Hamilton is fouled. Porporino going to check back in for Hawthorne. There's also been another sub for Fort Lee. Number 15, Naomi Kim, is now into the game. And now Olivia Kim, another freshman, is checking in. Cartagena fires from deep and misses, but it's an offensive rebound, and now a three-pointer is taken and missed by Hamilton. Rebound to Pestick. Jackie Martinez misses her jumper. Kay Hamilton with the rebound. And she loses it. So once again, it'll be Fort Lee ball. Martinez handling. She's in there with Paula Pestick, who fires and misses. Pestick gets her own rebound. And that is Naomi Kim scoring. So it's Martinez, Pestick, as that shot is missed and rebounded by Olivia Kim. Fort Lee maintains possession. And scoring underneath the basket is Olivia Kim. So it's Olivia Kim, Jamie West, Jackie Martinez, Naomi Kim, and Paula Pestick. Finally got out the full five-person group. Kay Hamilton fires from three. She's off. That's Naomi Kim with the board. Hamilton gets it back, gives it to Porporino, who almost travels and now does turn it over to Pestick. Under 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. It is 69-19 Fort Lee. Pestick handling now. Naomi Kim, the long pass to Pestick, who misses off the backboard. But Fort Lee maintains possession. We do have a whistle here. And we're going to have a sub as Porporino will come out for Hawthorne and Grace Desirio will check in. Last minute of play here in the fourth quarter. First game of this Coaches versus Cancer Classic. All proceeds from today's 2 games will benefit cancer research. And also thank you for watching the stream of these games on YouTube. Firing and canning the jumpers, Paula Pestic. So she is on the board. A very balanced scoring attack for Fort Lee. They lead this one 71-19. It's a second straight game scoring over 70 points. Long rebound comes out to Olivia Kim, and that's probably just about going to do this one. Biggest victory of the season for the Fort Lee Bridgemen, and they now improve to 11-2. Kelly Lane's squad has won 11 in a row. They take this one by a score of 71-19 over the Hawthorne Bears. Again, they will have an off day tomorrow, and then they will be in action Monday and Tuesday. Next up, in this Coaches versus Classic twofer, it's going to be the Fort Lee Bridgemen boys varsity basketball team, and they will be hosting the Nutley Raiders. Don't go anywhere for that one. I will step aside briefly. Thank you so much for watching the girls varsity basketball game. Stay tuned again for Fort Lee's boys team.